Welcome to the Hivemind Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Erifyrexia, aka Kyle Kelly.
And I am MTG Cranium 707, your one-stop shop for the Hive. What's up, everyone?
What's up? Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for sticking around with us and supporting us. And like I said, we love you. We love the continued support, and we have still working on the Patreon, and we got merch out that you can order as well. It's in our link trees on TikTok. The cutoff for that is October 1st for your orders to get shipped to you, or you can meet us at Magic Con Vegas.
Well, you'll meet Erifyrexia. I'm not going to be going to Vegas this year.
Boo!
Boo! If there was a soundbite for that.
Aw, dang it.
Aw, dang it.
All right. So what do we got today?
We got kind of set-wise, like we have so many sets coming out during the year. I mean, it's just an overload of product, right? But with that, what to look for in, like, if you're comparing what would be good in your casual deck, or like what are cEDH worthy cards, right?
Yes.
Like, not every set is gonna have like, oh, there's like 10 cards that are good for cEDH. There never is that many cards in any of these. You know, look at Modern Horizons 3. That was supposed to be for Modern.
Yeah.
There was more stuff in there for cEDH, or, you know.
I mean, there's a lot of even in Modern Horizons,
which I thought was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. In Modern Horizons, though, there wasn't a ton of playable stuff. The flares, obviously, I believe, are playable, but they don't go in every deck. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not like Force of Wills,
but not it.
Stuff like that.
Not every single flare was good. Like the flare denial, awesome, counterspell.
Yeah.
The green ramp spell, those, in my opinion, out of all 5 of the flares, those were the 2 best ones.
I personally like the red one, though. You can actually capture a game with that one sometime, maybe. The one that copies. Yeah. But again, they're not like cEDH, like the best for cEDH, because you have to sacrifice a permanent to actually use them. So I mean, in cEDH, you're trying to advance your board state, right? You don't really want to be getting rid of stuff to cast stuff. I mean, obviously, flare denial is all right if it's the last thing you have to use. You know what I mean? So if it keeps you from losing, if it keeps you from losing the game and actually winning your next turn, sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's like, what you look for in the cards, like you and me have discussed this before in just regular play, is like your CMC cost. Mm-hmm. What effects are on the card? Like, in my opinion, in Bloomsboro, like, I think there was, I know you talked about Balin. Balin's been heavily discussed in cEDH Discords and in cEDH pages on Facebook and stuff. And, if you look at it, it's a red, a green, and a white, right?
Yeah.
First effect, tap 2 untapped tokens you control, add 1 mana of any color. There's a little bit of mana fixing. 3 untapped tokens you control, draw a card, so you're digging. Drawing a card is always going to be useful. Tap 4 untapped tokens you control, 3 1/1 counters on Balin the Haymaker. It gains trample until end of turn, so you're beefing up your own creature. You have 3 different effects. Mind you have to do certain things to get it. But
yeah, so this card kind of reminds me of Deathrite Shaman in a way. You know what I mean? So we evaluate cards like that.
Right.
And not in a lot of these standard sets, they don't have, cards like this. Most cards in standard sets maybe do 2 effects, maybe, and they only do them kind of good, not the best. So they are options. There are options for cEDH, but they're not the best choices, for actually playing a cEDH deck. Now I want to talk about this too, because most of the cEDH staples have already been printed, and for new cEDH staples to come out, it actually is very, very rare, right? That's what we're looking at.
Right. Like, look at Pantlaza. That's a food chain. When Pantlaza first came out, instantly everyone in cEDH knew that was a food chain combo commander right there. Like, you could just poop out your whole freaking deck by food chaining it.
What and then the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And So with just going back to Bloomburrow, like you say Balin,
Yeah.
I say Glarb, Calamity's Augur, right? It's a green, or it's a black, green, blue. So it has really good colors, right?
Okay.
3 of some of the better colors in Commander.
Yep.
It's a 2/4 Death Touch Frog. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, which is value, right?
Right.
You may play lands and cast spells mana value 4 or greater from the top of your library. So you're getting value out of looking at that at any time. And then if you tap Glarb, you surveil 2, right?
Right.
And if we get into that, you know, it's just, it brings a lot of value. It's a low CMC cost. You have really good colors. You know, you have your ramp, you have your counters, have your combo pieces that you can have in there. And it makes sense. Yes, people are going to be, oh, it's a landfall deck. Or, you know, yeah, you can put, you know, these stupid, ridiculously valued card, and you can. Absolutely, you fucking can. But
right.
in my opinion, I think that one is cEDH worthy. But those are about the only 2 I can see out.
I'd say there's some ones that are kind of fringe, like Dev, Scaled Scorch.
Yeah.
He would be a 99, I believe, in maybe one of my decks. Right. Just for the fact, if you go infinite, you can, you know, machine gun down the table. You know, there's a few other ones, but nothing out of this set that really. 3 Tree City, maybe in Savala, but only that deck, maybe.
Yeah. Or in like a Marlin, you know.
Elf deck. One of those.
That's a guy that's great already.
Yeah, I mean, just one of those elf ball silliness decks.
Right.
Which really,
or in Kranko.
Yeah, or in Kranko, which realistically, I haven't seen an elf ball deck in the meta for a while. I know people still play them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're starter cEDH decks, and they're just better options, honestly, in monocolor.
Right, and so I'm sure people are also going to be looking at these and being like, oh, there's cEDH worthy cards, you know, like, what about Zorline, Cosmos Collar?
Yeah.
Okay, it's low CMC, it does multiple effects, but it's still, you're not, yes and no.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say, you know, high power casual at this point, because people really need to know the difference, you know, between cEDH and high power casual, the actual casual commander. You know what I mean? So.
Right. Absolutely. But yeah, it's just looking out for that. What's the CMC? What are the effects? What are those effects on that commander valuing? You know, can you have the combos that you need? Can you have the counter spells that you need? Can you have the things that are going to put more value on your board before anybody else?
Cough, cough,
Nadu. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't give a damn what anybody says. Nadu is absolutely viable in cEDH. In fact, I played in a cEDH pod last week, and there was a guy behind me. Mentioned Nadu, and he's like, ew, that's a stupid commander. And I was like, oh, that's just what modern players say.
Jeez.
Off it.
Oh, I bet.
And it was funny because a couple other people across the way from us, you know, you can ask Thane or Big Country. One guy was like, hey, you shut your mouth. The bird is the word. And I was like, exactly.
Jeez.
Like, yes, Nadu is broken. But let's be honest. What Simic commander out there isn't broken in its own way?
Right. You can break Nadu as a commander, and you can put him in the 99 and still break the deck. I mean, come on. Look at my Derevi deck that I designed. Exactly. It's insane. You know?
Speaking of which, I gotta say this is a side note, but I pulled a full art foil Derevi.
You know that's going to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hello there.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
All right. But yeah, so evaluating cards like that, so that was Modern Horizons 3, right? No, No. I mean for like the cEDH commander viable cards.
Yeah.
And you look at the rest of the sets this year. I mean, there hasn't really been too much, in my opinion. I mean, it's maybe 1 to 2 cards a set, and they're even niche in a way. You know, certain decks use them.
Right.
They're not like One Rings, where One Rings can literally go in every deck. You know what I mean? If you don't run the One Ring, you're doing it wrong. You know, that type of thing. And that's a lot of the times when I look at cards. You know, that's why I said we already have our cEDH staples. So all the Moxes, the One Ring, you know, all the tax cards, you know, there's already a set precedence for the cEDH staples. And, you know, when obviously we evaluate new sets when they come out, but we're already, it's hard to find slots for new cards, especially when your deck's already performing and doing the thing that it's supposed to do, right?
Right. There can be new build commanders, you know, that you can build these new type of strategies, but like one that's going to go in, like you said, it's very rare to find like a One Ring where now it's in every single cEDH card or a deck, and like, you know, because that thing just gives you value. It's stupidly good, but you're rarely going to find those. You may have, like you said, one, maybe two, if you're super lucky, three in each set that you're coming out with. But that's about it. You really got to be careful because, yes, it may look like it, but, you know, and this is why playtesting your decks and, you know, putting new stuff in there, but remembering what you took out is essential. You want to see if this actually is going to flow with your deck properly, or if it's just going to, it's just taking up a slot now.
Right. That's where you either play test online or play test in person. A lot of the times,
like that one, everyone, a lot of people are looking at that mono black. We're going back to Bloomer again, where it gives all your you know, opponent's creatures base toughness of 1. While it is a good card, it's better in the 99, but you're not going to see it in every single deck because that's not going to fit everyone's strategy.
Right. And realistically, even if I was playing a deck that can utilize that card, I wouldn't run it because that slot belongs to Bowmaster anyway. You know what I mean? That's just how it is.
Right. Exactly.
Now, you could run both if you don't have something better to run, you know, as kind of, but like to me, that's just not, what do you call it? Like it's not really they're synergistic, but it's not, for me, it's not good enough to run together because you're just wasting a slot for a tutor or, you know, something crazy, something else that's just way better in the deck. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. And it's like, you know, when I was playing in these pods this last week, I played against really some fun people. But there was a card, and it is a colorless avatar. I forget the dang name of it. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up. But it was one of those, I was like, I did not realize how damn good.
Oh, you're talking about, I know which card you're talking about. I forgot the name of it, but it basically you pay 2, otherwise.
Wandering
Archaic.
Archaic.
Yeah, that's better.
Whenever an opponent casts instant force control, they may pay 2. If they don't, you can. So if someone drops a Force of Will, okay, do you pay the 2?
Yeah.
No, I don't pay the 2. Okay, I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to Force of Will your Force of Will.
Right.
It's just a protection piece. So that one's and it's a 5 CMC. It's a creature, yes, so you can get rid of it easily. But at the same time, if someone can't get rid of it, then you got a counter spell on a stick right there.
Right, but for me, like when I look at cards like that, like depending on what colors I am, I would rather have, like for tax cards, I would rather have the Ristic Study, or you know, like you know what I'm talking about. But I mean, it is a good option, I guess. But like for me, I wouldn't slot it in. Just because of the CMC cost.
I'm not going to slot it in every deck, but it's going to, like, I'm ordering a couple of them and I'm putting them in my decks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're going to test it.
Just test it out.
See if it works out in your deck. Yeah, no. That's another thing, you know, you just, a lot of the times when you play cEDH, you know, the games go fast, so you don't, and a lot of the times you don't even play the new cards you put in your deck for a long time because they don't come up in your hands, right? So
unless you have tutors and you're one that you're totally going to go for, you know.
Right. But realistically, so like when I'm looking at new sets, I'll look for first thing I do is I look for free stuff, right? Free casting cost. Right. Number 2, I look at the 1 casting cost stuff. Look at Ragavan, look at Deathrite Shamans, the Mana Dorks. What do they do? You know what I mean? And then we go on from there, you know. I think realistically for me, I stop at the 2 CMC stuff and then, you know, go from there. You know, I look at rocks, I look at, you know, creatures that do certain things, you know.
Right. I think the most I'll go up for, like, with that is 3.
Yeah, and 3 you can go up to 3, but even 3 for and it has to be good though. That's what I'm saying.
It's riding the line with that one.
Yeah, like it has to be good enough to take a slot in my deck to get me to win the game faster than my deck already can win the game, and that is a big build. Like, that's a big build to fit. You know what I mean?
It's like a Seedborn Muse. Yes, it's 5, 2 green, 3 colors, but it's stupidly good. Like it gives you so much value and lets you set ahead.
Right.
Ahead in the game against your opponent so far that you're just like
right. And a lot of the times you're if you have a Seedborn Muse out, you're already in the mid range of the game, right? So you're past turn 4, nobody's won. Basically, that's what you're looking at. You know what I mean? So that's where that Wandering Archaic shines, is in that mid range battle between nobody winning in the first, 0 or turn 0 to turn 3 or 4. Once you go past that threshold, that means everybody's usually already spent their interaction, right, to actually stop people from winning. So a lot of the times you have free reign in those turns, like 5, 6, and 7, to do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Right. And let's be honest, in our experiences that we've done, like cEDH games, I don't think there's been like a turn 3. I mean, there has been turn 3s, but like turn 2s, turn 1s.
We've had a few. Yeah, we've had a few Thoracles. I think those are the fastest wins we've had. Obviously,
yeah, that's about it though.
Yeah, I mean, we've had turn 2 Atraxas. We've had, stuff like that. But I mean, they just didn't outright win the game. So I mean, the game went on. You know what I mean?
Right. So these ones are definitely worth at least giving a shot.
Yeah. Always test out your lines. Make sure when you look at these cards, are they good enough in the hand you have? Because mulliganing in cEDH is a big part of cEDH. You have to toss up to the bin when you have a bad draw. So that's one of the biggest things is, I've even gone down to like 3 or 4 cards and I still was able to win a game. You know what I mean? Right. Knowing what cards I had in hand.
I had to go down to 5 cards this last weekend, and finally I got something decent enough to be like, okay, we can do that.
And like when I was playing casual, I really didn't care about mulliganing. I was like, if I had the my mana curve, I'd be like, cool, whatever's in my hand is whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's the difference, and that's how I evaluate cards. So basically, if you have free stuff, 1 CMC like the Ragavans, the Deathrite Shamans, 2 CMC. There's a lot of good 2 CMC stuff out there that you can run, but like you said, you're pushing the limit with the 3s. Nadu being one of them.
We forgot to even mention this out of Bloom Barrel. There is another card that is, in my opinion, a cEDH viable card.
Really?
And that's that Degenerate Toxic Squirrel. The one where if a player was to sacrifice a non-creature artifact,
right?
I think it's or a token, a non-creature token.
Yeah, so you're basically shutting down. You're shutting down the dockside lines again. Though it's like a stacks piece that you're playing. So the question I would ask you: would you run that over stuff like Collector Hoof? And I don't know. You know what I mean?
I probably would, because I think with that one, it's one where it's against or is it players?
I honestly don't know. I haven't seen the card.
Let's see, hold on, I'll look it up real quick.
But like for me, like if that's the only thing it really does, like it kind of stops
It's a 1 green 2 colors toxic 2 3/3 squirrel druid.
Okay.
And Bloodroot Apothecary enters, you and target opponent each create a treasure token. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-creature token, that player gets 2 poison counters. So yeah, I would run that over Collector Oof any day of the week, because a Collector Oof stops me as well. This one stops your opponents.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean,
that's just my personal opinion on it.
Basically, if you play that,
I have all these.
So you have to get rid of that to be able to go infinite. Which, I mean, look at every time you get Dranith. Like, there's only been one time I think that you've actually had removal in hand. You know what I mean? So
twice. I did have one this last time. One player played a Dranith Magistrate after Thane.
So this thing, this thing could stick around. And if I was another player that it wasn't affecting, would I remove it? No, because we want the treasure guy and the Tibet players to sit there and punch air. You know what I mean?
Like, cool. You just made all those artifacts. Can't do shit with it, or else you're gonna lose the game.
Yeah. Which is funny. We'll see. It'll see some play. I don't think it'll go in every deck, but I think it'll see some play. I mean, the cEDH the cEDH meta will shake it out, like they always do, and test it, and we'll probably hear about it later on.
In fact, let's see, because that one was a big hype for a second. Let's see what the price is on that one if it went up.
I doubt it. Typically, the price
It's sitting at about low end $569.
Yeah. I mean, that's
gone down. It started out at 10. So
yeah. So it typically, when these sets come out, Bloomburrow's been out for a week, so you'll see the drop off obviously within of prices of things within 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll see where we're at then. Or
then you'll see a rise in prices as well.
Or you'll see a card take off.
If you look at the infamous Cruel Claw, right? Everyone had the idea to have 98 freaking lands in there, and then a Worldfire in the infamous Cruel Claw.
Yeah.
Worldfire jumped up from like $18 or something like that to like 34, I think is what it's at now. It's stupid.
People just want to watch the world burn, man.
Maybe. Right.
I don't know what to say.
I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, wrapping up that subject, that's basically how I evaluate cards. Are they good enough for my decks? And generally 90% of the time they're not. It really takes a good card to take a slot in my cEDH decks. You know what I mean?
Right. It has to really stick out in order. But that doesn't mean we're telling people not to test them out. Test them out if you want.
Yeah, and we're not saying don't play them, but for me, as in my decks, most of this stuff will work because my decks are already trying to do the thing, and you're fighting for slots, for other cards.
Right.
Right. So, but I mean, if you don't have a better card to use, or you just want to test it out, I would for sure.
All right. So now, do we want to go on to the second subject of the night?
Yeah, let's talk about that. We had what is it? Balancing real life with your Magic life. I think
life, social media.
Yeah, social media, and I think this is kind of a big one for a lot of people because I see this all the time. I see people disappear for quite a while. They just get burned out of social media or whatever. But I mean, when you do that, and you're just like, oh, well, I mean, we'll be around for when you come back, but it really drops off your channels, if you don't pay attention to them, if you're trying to grow your, like you said, your following and stuff like that. You just have to find that good balance of, because I work full time, right? So I have to work around that to be able to play our Bad Magic pod and then also be able to play in other people's pods that are streaming and also record a podcast. So, balance time with my family. So it is very, very difficult. So I'm already splitting hairs as it is. You know what I mean?
All making content keeps your algorithm happy, and
it is tough.
And that's the thing is a lot of people. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're good.
It is a fine line. You gotta walk a fine line because obviously we have real lives outside of the game.
Yeah.
Like you and me, for example. You and me constantly travel for work.
Yes.
Everywhere. So it's like when we get time, this was one of the good days that we could record the podcast for both of us. It works for both of our schedules.
Yep.
But it's like, a lot of people, they look at social media. When I first got on TikTok and all that stuff, people are like, oh, you gotta put out like 3 to 6 videos a day and blah blah blah, or else your channel's not gonna grow. And it's like, no, you're letting the algorithm control who you are, what you want to do on your channel, and that's not the way it should be, because you like we've said a couple times already, you have to have that balance. Because if you're giving all of your time to social media, then you don't have time for your personal life, and you don't have time for, your friends, or your, if you have a family or if you have kids and stuff like that, and that takes away time from them. And on top of that, with this economy, you got to work your butt off just to freaking make ends meet.
Right.
And it's like, okay, and this is also another, but at the same time, everyone's, this new set came out, and I'm gonna get FOMO because I'm not gonna get this set, and I gotta get this set. You don't have to buy every fucking set. You don't have to get every single secret layer. You don't have to do it's your choice. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, and that is your own personal choice. But remember that this is just a game. It's just cardboard. It's just social media. You only get one life, though.
Yeah.
You really have to prioritize the important things in your life. And if this game is that important to you, by all means, balls to the wall, baby. Let's freaking do this thing.
Exactly.
But don't let it consume you as a person. Don't let this is my identity and this is what I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Because you're going to get burnt out. And on top of that, when you do start to feel that, hey, I don't have any motivation to make any content, I don't feel creative flow, it is 1000% healthy to take a mental break.
Yes.
Just get off of social media. Get out. Go touch some grass, as the Yankees say, right?
Go touch some fucking grass.
Get out. Get away. Just do you for a little bit and just breathe. Don't let this fucking computer system and this artificial intelligence and all this other stuff control your life.
Yeah.
This is your life. You are in control of it. And if you can't control your own life, what the fuck is the point? You got to get a grasp on life and see things from a broader spectrum than just, I got to look at the screen. And I catch myself doing it all the time. I have to put my phone down, and I need to be better about it, because when I'm around my wife and around my son, I find myself, and my wife calls me out on it, we both do it, but I'm on my phone a lot, and that's...
Oh, yeah.
It's finding the balance, seeing what's important in your life, and going from there.
Yeah. And I take a lot of, for me, I also... I take a lot, what hits me the most usually is actually the actually making content, because I'm busy, doing this, and also, doing other things with our channel. You know what I mean? So
right.
I always take away from that side of the pie when I actually do get tired and burned out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just what it is. It's fine. For me as a person, especially around, times like this where everybody's, up in arms, and, there's inflation here, and, I just take breaks, and I'm good. I just put my phone down. I don't even go on any of the social media websites. I'm good. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And I do the same thing. I'll I have ADHD, so when I get, it's either half speed or 10 times speed, and there is no in between. So I'll get inspiration and just be like, I'm gonna pump out content, and then all of a sudden a week later I'm like, I'm gonna take a little break, but I've learned to just not let something control. You don't have to put out all those videos to grow. You really don't.
No, you don't.
It's all by chance. It's all by luck.
Yeah, and don't I wouldn't even try to get big real fast. Grow naturally. You know what I mean? It's even if you do happen to actually, go viral, or you become a big magic personality, in a fast pace, that's cool too. It can happen. Right. But most of the time it doesn't, and don't try to be somebody that you're not. You know what I mean? Be yourself, be genuine.
And also, right. And also for the people I get people messaging me, right? I just hit 25K the other day, which was super exciting for me. It took me forever to get to 25K.
Yeah.
And on TikTok anyways, I'm smaller on other platforms. I don't care. If I had one follower, I'm happy. But, I got lucky at TikTok, and it's really cool. But when people are like, "Oh my god, I'm fanboying," or "I'm doing this," like, dude, I'm a regular person.
Yeah,
like
just like you.
We're all regular people. These big creators that are on YouTube and like we see them as celebrities, they're still just regular human beings.
Yep.
And should be treated as such. You know, held to the same standards as everyone else, not just, oh, well, you know, they're this and they're this, so we gotta. Nah.
Yeah.
That. We're all human.
We're all human. Like I said, especially to your followers, be a good person. Don't be the bad person.
Right. You don't want to be the thou shall not be named people that we've come across over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be those.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to be a role model, because I'm definitely not a role model,
right.
Obviously. But don't be a bad person.
You're my role model. Yeah, okay.
Jesus. Here we go.
But don't be like one of those guys where like your ex, you're gonna threaten to unalive them or anything like that.
Or anything crazy.
Whoops. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Whoops.
But yeah, like I said,
sorry, not sorry.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's like, don't be a bad person.
Right. Just be a genuine person. Do unto others as you would want done unto you. It's a simple thing. Just be a good person. Be nice to people. That's all you gotta do. It's very, very simple.
Yeah.
But people, and with content creation, you are just gonna have those people on there just gonna hate on you to hate on you.
Yeah.
Or be like the actually guys, right?
Yeah, there's always gonna be someone,
just,
it doesn't matter.
I know more than you because blah 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 X, Y, and Z, and I just honestly I'm like, I don't give a damn what you can just take a whole lot of
these nuts.
Got him! Just get away from my channel at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Ignore the bullshit, embrace the positivity, and you will be just fine.
Yeah, and also, accept help. If people offer to help you, take it too. I used to not do that. And, we've had a lot of good people come around helping us. And like I said, thank you to everybody that's been doing it. And it's nice every once in a while when somebody offers to give you a hand, what I mean?
Right. And, I've gotten, now that I am traveling a lot more, like I've gotten to meet some really cool people that I met on, TikTok and stuff. I met up with Caesar. He's one of the OGs. I finally met up with Big Country MTG after 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
Met up with Thane, and Thane is a genuinely good person.
You got 2 people. You got Lexi Dan helping you move, Dino helping you move,
right.
Move in. It's crazy the amount of people you've met over the last couple months traveling,
Yeah, and it's amazing, and I'm so blessed to be able to do that, and I can't wait for you and me to meet in person and have our fun times, sitting across from a table, and Dave and Inkville and Machu and the Cauldron Boys, and I could just sit here and rip pull repeat. I can name all these people that we've had genuine conversations with. We've had good times over Spell Table, where we're supporting, and that's another thing about social media. How effing hard is it to sit there and watch somebody's video, like it, comment, maybe favorite it or share it with somebody?
Yeah, repost,
it's not
whatever.
hard to support each other as content creators, but some people get a big ass ego and just think, well, I'm this now, and they lose sight of who they are. I'm not going to name anybody, but there's a good amount of people in the OG MTG TikTok land that have gotten that mentality, and it's really sad to see. And all I'm going to say to you guys is do better.
Do better.
Do better. Don't be, because damn well if other people started doing that to you, you'd be like, whoa, remember that once? No. You just thought you were hot shit out of nowhere, and now all of a sudden you're just better than everybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see that a lot, but
Yeah. But then, you got the good people like Dino Dez, love that. Twin of mine. Can't wait to sit down across the table from him and beat his dinosaurs in. What?
I hope he plays a Tolly. and steals
totally not.
And steals your
If
dividing
anything,
top.
I'm going to play something with white in it and drop the Drannith Magistrate so he feels the pain too.
Jeez. That's funny.
So, but yeah, man, that's my say on that, and I think we've covered it pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
Balancing life and magic. And so do we want to go to the ass or gas portion?
Yeah, let's go to that.
Because there's a couple people in our last episode, and they had a couple good suggestions.
Okay.
So the first one, let me get the name from him real quick, was Justin Goodwin 6675. Ezio Auditori di Firenze, and I hope I didn't butcher that name, but the Assassin's Creed Ezio. And this is technically a Wooburg commander, because it does have Wooburg in the text.
Okay.
To cast it, it's 1 black, 1 colorless, menace, 3/2, human assassin. Assassin spells you cast have free running, cost of 2 black. Whenever Ezio deals combat damage to a player, you may pay Wooburg. If that player has 10 or less life, when you do, that player loses the game. Ass or gas?
I say ass for cEDH. I think it's a decent casual commander.
Yeah.
But at the Wooburg slot, we already have all-stars.
Right.
Like Captain Sisay and
right.
King Kenrith,
Sisay, Kenrith, and First Sliver. And,
yeah.
No, I'll agree with you on that. I think cEDH, it's ass. I can see it as a high power casual.
Yeah, or even just a casual. Doesn't matter.
Just because of the free running, the two black,
Yeah.
especially if you have like Maskwood Nexus out and you can blight steel Colossus. That's ninjutsu, but assassins,
right?
Right. Category. So yeah, I'll say ass in cEDH, but gas in casual.
Sure.
And then the next one is from our good buddy Thane, and obviously Mr. Thane is asking about Cranko Mob Boss. And just for you Cranko players out there, I'm going to say this once and one time only: both formats, ass.
Yeah, I'm going to put an emphasis on this one. I know a lot of people play Cranko as high power cEDH, but realistically, I don't think it pushes the envelope in a monocolor that people think it does. Creating bodies on the battle, for the battlefield is not what I want to be doing. Really, if I was to play a mono red commander, I would be playing Magda. So right. With that being said, I'm going to say
I'd be playing Godo.
Yeah, or Godo. Those are our 2 red commanders. They're proven. I'm not saying you can't play Cranko in cEDH, but for this one, for all you Goblin players, ASS.
Cranko is a casual.
Oh no! Oh no!
There you go.
All the freaking Goblin players coming out being like, "Oh, actually."
Yeah, it's fine. It's just our opinion, though.
No, I mean,
like it or love it, hate it or leave it.
Our opinion. So with that, I mean, I think we got pretty much all we needed to talk about. What I'll say is, if you guys want to, if you've gotten this far, just like we like to feature at the end of each episode, is ass or gas.
Yep.
Leave a comment telling us your favorite commander, and we'll give you our opinion on whether it's ass or gas in cEDH or in casual. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun stuff.
Yeah. Don't forget to support.
We really thank you.
Don't forget to support everybody and the people around you, because they're the ones that will keep you afloat.
Yep. It's definitely good to have a community behind you, and as well as you supporting that community as well.
Exactly.
And just thank you for all the love and support yet again. The people that have surrounded themselves around us and have supported us in this endeavor. We do this for fun, and it's just been so much fun. With Air to Phyrexia over here.
Yep, likewise.
One of my best friends in life. And I couldn't ask for a better person to do this fun journey with, man.
Hell yeah. Just like that. Likewise, man. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you in the next episode.
And as always, for the Hive.
Glory to Phyrexia. Goodbye, everybody.